Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. In today's episode is going to be a 2024 review for us, what happened in Vietnam this year to celebrate the end of the year as well as the future and what's our prediction for 2025. If you don't know about us, we are MovetoAsia, a sourcing agency in Vietnam specialized into helping SMEs to leverage their opportunities in the region. We can assist clients from finding the right supplier, doing due diligence on their behalf, organizing factory tours, taking care of the entire scope of their production needs, and we also have a warehouse for logistics assistance. In a wrap, we can act as the grounded team of our clients to take care of the entire scope of their production needs. Let's start by an overview about what happened in Vietnam in 2024 with a focus on import-export. 2024 has been an exciting year for Vietnam's import-export sector. Key industries such as furniture, ceramics, and textile have seen impressive growth, and according to a report from the Ministry of Industry and Trade, furniture export grew by 15% and textile by 12% compared to last year, which highlight a recovery for 2023. However, there have been challenges too. Rising logistics costs have been the major obstacle, and for instance, a container shipping cost from Asia to Europe increased by 20% in the first half of 2024. Additionally, reliance on raw materials imported from China has occasionally caused disruptions in the supply chain, and this presents actually an opportunity for Vietnamese businesses to improve domestic value chains and invest in alternative raw material sources. The second main thing that happened this year is the election of Trump, the new US president, for the second time. We made a video that is going deep in details about what can be the development, as you can find here, and watch out. But in a brief, the direct impact on international trade can be significant, particularly in US-Vietnam relations. Some analysts expect that the US will continue applying pressure on China with new trade policies, potentially creating opportunities for Vietnam to increase its market share. Notably, US companies have been shifting their supply chains to Vietnam over the past year. However, the market is still awaiting for more concrete moves from the US, especially regarding new tariffs or trade sanctions against China. These will be key factors in shaping global trade flows in the upcoming year. In Europe, this time with France being the first European country signing a comprehensive partnership with Vietnam to tighten their relationships. And knowing the history between France and Vietnam, this is a major milestone, opening up many opportunities for cooperation, especially in economics, trade and investment. And on behalf of MovetoAsia, a blended company of French and Vietnamese, we are very happy with this development. It will create more synergies between the two nations, more opportunities and more collaborations for the future. Nevertheless, knowing the economical and political developments in the region, especially between the US, China and Taiwan, there may be moves and things that will be implemented in the future. And Vietnam's import-export industry may go to significant changes in the next year related to this global trade policy shift that have been already implemented. One of the most notable factors is that the trade war between the US and China causes a lot of companies to diversify their supply chain. Tariffs that the US imposed on Chinese goods have created a wave of production relocation. Many American and European businesses have sought alternative manufacturing partners, and Vietnam has become one of the ideal destinations due to its competitive pricing and product quality. However, this shift is not without challenges. While we've seen an increase in contract and orders from US companies, Vietnam businesses are also facing higher competition from countries like Mexico, India and other Southeast Asian nations will also have cost advantages in production. Therefore, to maintain and expand market share, Vietnamese companies need to continuously improve product quality, optimize production processes and integrate technology into their operation. As for the European market, policy changes are just as important. Since the EVFTA, which is the Vietnam-Europe Free Trade Agreement, came into effect, the opportunities for cooperation between Vietnam and European companies have expanded significantly. However, the growing demand for higher product quality and stricter environmental standards present a significant challenge for Vietnamese businesses in maintaining and improving their product quality to meet with European standards. Standards such as the ISO certification or FSC certificates for the wood industry and environmental protection certificates are becoming increasingly important in trade transactions. So here is a brief about import-export from Vietnam in 2024. Now what about MovetoAsia and the development that we had this year? 2024 was a pivotal year for MovetoAsia as we expanded our client base and suppliers in northern Vietnam. We used to be very focused on southern Vietnamese manufacturers, so in the region of Ho Chi Minh City, Dong Nai, Binh Nhung, Mekong Delta, etc. So mostly the southern part of the country, but this year we had projects from sourcing and accompanying clients for their production in northern Vietnam. We could go to a lot of different manufacturing in the north, which gives us now a perspective about the entire country, and from an initial search to find the most suitable supplier, we are able to screen southern Vietnam and the north as well. And when we talk about relocating supply chain from China to Vietnam, is not always easy, because when we compare Vietnam and China, so in a project of diversification and reallocating the supply chain and moving it from China to Vietnam, there is a lot of factors that are coming in place. And often we are talking about two countries that are not having at the moment the same capacity and the same standards as well as the same workforce. We are talking about two countries with a gap of probably 10 to 15 years difference, maybe more. In some key industries in Vietnam, you don't have the same level as in China in terms of the machinery, the engineer skill for research and development, as well as the know-how to do some specific projects. So obviously there will be some key verticals that will be very suitable for Vietnam, such as furniture, garments, home decor, metal manufacturing, and the beginning of electronics as well. So don't expect the two countries to be the same at the same level in terms of the manufacturing landscape. So obviously as a sourcing agency, we need to balance our client needs with what's available right now in the market. And another milestone this year was to have our own QC. We currently have one QC for shoes manufacturing, someone who's been working before for ASICS. We do have one who has more than 20 years experience into furniture and metal manufacturing, and we have one person as well that is a senior person for garments products. So we can support from A to Z project in the Vietnam manufacturing landscape in those three core industries. And for other verticals, we do have a strong network that we can be asking for referral and recommendation to hire specific QCs per project. So now what are some of the main challenges that we faced this year? I will come back to what I was explaining earlier. Sometimes our client expectation won't meet with what is available on Vietnam market. And one of the first thing is about MOQ. So one of the biggest challenge this year was working with factories when clients request relatively small order quantities while still maintaining high quality. This is particularly difficult in industries like furniture, where design and materials requirements are very specific, and balancing quantity and quality is a challenge. To address this, we had continuously searched for potential factories and partners, sometimes relying on internal networks to find what we call hidden gems, so factories that are able to accept small quantity orders. And this can be challenging because you will have to put in place your own quality control team to ensure timeline, schedule, and product quality. We had to invest significant resources this year into hiring specific people occasionally on some key projects to maintain quality control on the production sites. For this reason, we continuously improve our product management control processes and strengthening collaborations with partners to ensure timelines and quality are maintained at the highest level for our clients. And to emphasize about the main differences between China and Vietnam for manufacturing, this is something that we faced this year. With the ongoing US-China trade tension, this should be a prime opportunity for Vietnam to shine. However, it will take many years before the Southeast Asian nation can replace China as the world's factory. Vietnam's specialized supply chain, which have contributed to China's dominance in manufacturing, are still under development. Additionally, factories with the necessary safety certifications and modern machinery are rare. Vietnam, with a population less than 1/10 of China's, also face a labor shortage as many global manufacturers shift to avoid the tariffs imposed by the US on Chinese goods. However, a practical obstacle is that not all factories in Vietnam can meet the export standards and manufacturing capabilities required, such as certifications, materials, and skilled labor. When MovetoAsia can't fulfill a client inquiry due to these limitations, we typically sit down with the client to discuss their expectations in detail and then seek out factories that can meet their needs. If we cannot find a match, we provide advice or may even recommend looking into another country to ensure that they can get the best results. So now, what are our plans for 2025 in MovetoAsia? We do want to be stronger even into some key sectors such as furniture, textile, and shoes. Those verticals are key in Vietnam. Already you can find a wide range of suppliers from small scales to big scale factories that are able to export very high quality goods at a competitive pricing. That's why we want to leverage the opportunities in those three sectors. And one of our primary goals is to expand our operation and take on larger projects in this key industry. And our focus will be strengthening partnerships with US and European clients where the demand of high quality and diverse products continue to grow. By leveraging the strong relationship we've built with manufacturers and suppliers in Vietnam, MovetoAsia is well positioned to meet high requirements of international markets. Additionally, we aim to host webinars and community events to connect with global partners, share insight on emerging trends in sourcing and manufacturing, and foster opportunities for long-term collaborations. These events will provide a platform for MovetoAsia to build and reinforce strategic partnerships, ultimately driving sustainable growth and ensuring a strong foundation for the future. And on the French side, as the French economy has shown signs of growing instability compared to the previous years, French public debt, which have reached more than 110% of 2024's GDP, marks a sharp increase from the earlier periods, reflecting sustained government spending and slow economic reforms. And compared to before, France now faces challenges such as an adverse GDP growth, rising inflation, and widening budget deficits. In response to this economic outlook for France and its perspective, we want to be diversified. We want to attract more clients outside of France, so it can be the US, Australia, or other parts of Europe, not to only have all our eggs in the same basket. Now we are still in the finalization process of some key partnership for 2025, so stay tuned, and I will leave below in the description the link of our newsletter so you make sure that you won't miss any important information from us. If you have any question, any matter that you'd like to discuss, also go below in the comment section, drop us your questions, I will answer them fast. If you enjoy the video, leave a thumbs up, and I see you in the next video. Thank you, bye bye.
And I'ma get it right, get on sight like